So today we are going to teach Fuzzy to shake paw, or at least going to go through the tutorial of how to get your dog to shake your paw. So I find it easiest first if our dog will go into a sit. Fuzzy, come here. And then what you can do is take a nice high value treat. You're going to put it in your fist like so. You're going to offer it to your dog pretty close to their leg. Yes. As soon as their paw comes up, you're going to use a marker, so a yes or a click, and give them the treat. So I'm going to do this a couple times just to show you what it looks like. Fuzz already knows how to shake a paw, so you'll see that he offers it pretty quickly, but you can offer it pretty close to their paws. Yes. It doesn't matter if they get up, sit down, all I'm watching is for his paw to come up and touch my hand. Yes. As your dog starts to offer it pretty quickly, what you're going to do is leave the treat out of your hand, offer it again. Yes. As soon as his paw comes up and touches my closed fist, he gets a yes, and the treat comes out of my baby bag. Yes. It's a very big treat, so I have to break them up for him. And then the next step is really just opening your hand. So I'm just going to offer him my hand with my palm facing up. Yes. Mark him and reward him as soon as he touches my palm. Yes. Once your dog is offering their paw, yes, every single time you offer your palm up without any treats in your hand, then you can start making it cute for it. So what we're going to use is shake for his cue. Shake. Yes. So I'm just waiting for his paw to come up, touch my palm. I'm going to say shake about 2 seconds before I even offer my hand. Shake. Yes. Shake. Yes. So really what you want to do is make the association that every time you say shake, your hand's going to come out and you want him to offer his paw. Shake. Yes. So that is it for shake a paw. So we're going to teach leg weaves today. We're going to use hand targeting with my trusty clicker and Fuzz, who does not do leg weaves. So to start off with, I'm just going to plant my legs quite a distance apart. Fuzz knows that the clicker means training, so he gets pretty excited. And then to start off with, I'm just going to get him to touch my hand right between my legs, click and reward him. And then once he's there, I'm going to get him to click or target my arm again. So I'm just slowly making him go all the way around into a nice figure 8. Good boy. Because Fuzz likes to target, he knows how to use a moving target as well. So as he starts to follow my hand, I can start getting him to go a little bit farther each time. Good boy. Until we can start getting him to go all the way around into a figure 8 formation. If your dog's having a hard time with going through your legs, think about how wide you have them open. It might make quite the difference in comparison. Fuzz is a small dog, but he is a little bit uncomfortable with going through my legs if they're fairly closed. So keeping them open wider to start off with can make it a little bit easier for him. Other than that, enjoy training. Now is how to get your puppy or your dog into a bow position. So to start off with, you want your dog in a stand. So I'm going to use luring for this one. So I'm going to take a treat out of my pouch. I'm going to make it fairly small because he is a fairly small little guy. He doesn't need a whole lot of treats. And as soon as he stands up, I'm going to put the treat right in front of his nose, and I'm just going to take it back, yes, towards his elbow. So instead of going straight down, I'm going more of an angle down and back to his back legs. Yes. As soon as I start seeing him bend his elbows a little bit, I'm going to mark with a yes and reward him, yes, for going into that position. Yes. And I'm trying to get him to slowly go all the way down to his elbows touching the ground with his butt in the air. Yes. Just like that. Once your dog starts really following the lure, so you can see that Fez is, yes, has this understanding, I'm just going to sort of deke him out. So I'm not going to have any treats in my hand. I'm going to get rid of the lure pretty quickly. And I'm just going to, yes, mark him and reward him as soon as he goes into the position. Can you come this way a little bit? So again, I just have my hands like this. He's going to go into a stand, and I'm going to mark it, yes, as soon as he goes into the position. So with the marker, it just gives you a couple seconds longer to get that treat out of your other hand. So I'm going to give him a stand. Yes. So keep practicing this. It depends on how your dog's structure is as well. You might have to go a little bit slower and smaller increments to get your dog into that down position without their butt going down to the floor. Oh, get up. Yes. But you do want to make sure that you try and get rid of the lure as quickly as possible once your dog starts getting the behavior. And then if you don't want just a hand signal, yes, then you can start adding a cue, or you can even start standing up while giving them the hand signal. So remember to just take it in increments so that eventually you can bow and your dog bows with you, or you can say, take a bow, your dog will bow, and so forth. So we're going to teach Fez how to hold this ring in his mouth. I have my clicker ready, as well as the ring. I'm going to offer it to him. Take it. Yes. And as soon as he puts his nose anywhere near it, I'm going to click and reward him. Good boy. So I'm just marking anytime he even looks towards the object. This time he put his teeth around the very edge of it. And I'm just taking it away from him. Should be putting it behind my back, but I'm just taking it away from him every time. Just so that he has another opportunity to do it. So I'm going to take it out, offer it to him. As soon as he puts his mouth on it, I'm just going to click and reward him. This is a very good choice, so I give him 2 treats. And again, I'm going to offer him the ring. As soon as he puts it in his mouth, I'm clicking and rewarding. For getting your dog to hold an object, especially when it's coming out of your hand, sometimes dogs really like doing this. Other times your dog is rather weird about putting stuff that are inanimate in their mouth. So you really want to make sure that you're clicking for any interaction. And once they start to put their mouth around it, that's the only time they're getting clicked for it. So if the criteria slowly gets harder and harder. Last time Fuzz had his whole mouth on it. This time he tried just putting his lips on it. So I waited him out until he put his whole in his full mouth. And I could see his little pearly white canine teeth. So again, as soon as your dog's teeth go on it, you click and reward, and then slowly you add a couple seconds to your dog having it in their mouth. before you click. So you want to take it pretty slow with your dog if they're not a big fan of having things in their mouth. So you can just add a couple seconds at a time until eventually they're holding it for even 5 or 10 seconds. And then you can start to lightly let go of the object itself. Until then, you want to sort of help them and support them so that they don't end up spitting it out and you have to start all over again. Because ideally, you want them to hold it until you tell them to let it go. At this point, your dog isn't ready to be cued for anything. You're just going to start by clicking and slowly adding up that duration of them holding it. Once they can hold it and you can let it go for a couple seconds, then you can start adding the drop it cue for them. Sit. Drop it. Good boy. So that it means that they're holding the object and then they're going to drop it. And then after that, you can start adding the cue to hold it. So whichever you want to call it. For Fuzz, we call it take it. Take it. Good boy. And then drop it for him to let it go. Continue practicing. It can take quite a while for your dog to build up the duration for this behavior.